Dude,
There
I'm
we go.
interested. Are we live? Oh, we're live. Dude, I'm interested
We're live.
on you said the AI ads didn't work for you. For me, I find it's like 25 to 40% cheaper.
No. So I have this. I don't know if you noticed from my Instagram that I've been posting AI videos. Did you know those were AI? The ones I've been posting. Well, you should know they're AI because a lot of them were me speaking at your event. Let me show you what I mean by this. I'm going to show you.
Yeah, I want to see what you're talking about.
I'm like one of those like not the most pro AI people. Like people are like, "Oh, you're going to get left behind if you're not using AI." I'm like, "Bitch, prove it."
I mean, I think it depends on what you're doing. If you're like a developer, maybe.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. I could see that.
Yeah.
These are AI. No, they're AI videos. That's not even me.
Oh, so you had yourself speaking at an event, but you're just talking. So you're just talking at an event, which is
That's your event, bro.
And then you just made yourself AI.
Exactly. I was
Dude,
like, why is there fat guy to show
that's
up?
really good. That's actually super smart. I'm gonna do that.
The thing is, though, none of them perform. Like this is the thing with AI, from what I've seen so far, is nothing has performed as well as a human yet.
What
like
do you
I haven't people are like besides like okay, let me like ChatGPTing like contract stuff and things like that. But like people are like, oh, AI is gonna replace sales. Not even close right now, bro. Like the AI is not even close. The AI is not even as good as a bad salesperson right now.
No, they're trash.
You know what I mean?
They're even like they're okay at they're like good at like getting you scheduled if you just have a basic scheduling question.
Yeah, I mean, they could answer the phone and say, "What time would you like to take an appointment?"
Yeah,
like they could do something like that, right? But yeah, people ask me a lot, like, John, how are you using AI in your wholesaling business? I'm like, dude, it's not there yet. Like I can see that it's going to be there, but everybody's talking about, oh, we got this AI comping thing, and we tried that, and it can work. It can work like 95% as good as a human, but 5% is a lot when you're making an offer on somebody's house.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And so
I agree.
Sales is the same way. And I'm not saying it's never going to be there. I'm just saying right now, it's not even close. Like there's just, when you see an ad, you can tell it's somebody that's AI. It's like, you're not going to take it as seriously if you can see the actual owner in the ad. I feel like.
Dude, I've tested both. And I honestly, I don't know. I feel like the AI is doing pretty well. And that maybe it's just the way that I've done it. But they look pretty real. Like here, like I'll just show. Let me just, for example, I'll share my screen.
Yeah, let's look at it. I've probably seen some of your ads. I mean, my reels look real. The ones that are AI, they look real. However, they don't perform nearly as well as if I'm actually talking. You know what I mean? I don't know if that Instagram can tell it's AI somehow and it doesn't boost engagement. I also don't give a shit about any of that stuff. I do care about comping properties properly, though. Like that's something I would not. Okay, let's look at it.
All right.
This is your ad.
If you are thinking about selling your house cash to an investor because it needs work, or you just want to be done with the place, I am sure you're tired of everyone just trying to steal your house. You probably are sitting there feeling a little lost on what to do, because you know you can't keep the house, but you also can't give it away. And this leaves you in a predicament, because listing the property also isn't an option.
Okay, but that ad copy's fire, bro.
Do you think you like it?
Yeah, but not the video. The video's terrible, but the ad copy's fire. You know what I mean? Like the ad copy's so fire, it's like I could see why that would get you low. Dude, your ad copy is carrying the team there, not the AI. Like, because if you did that same video and you did it in Southern Louisiana with like a 55-year-old middle-aged like white woman, it's going to do better, an actual actor. Now, this is where you have to figure out the trade-off is you got to go find the actor. You got to send them the ad copy. You have to give them feedback on the edits.
Yep.
So like, do I
recording it?
Yeah. So do I feel like
you pay them a bunch of money?
Yeah. So is it worth it to film? I mean, the other part about Facebook is you have to test so many creatives. And so like, that is something that I don't think AI would do a better job than a human, but you're not going to get a human to film 50 different hooks and 50 different like really 50 different ads if you want to actually follow the Andromeda best practices that Meta's using right now.
They're all like fully unique. Like, so here, add the screen share back. This is
not able to do that? I thought you could.
No, I don't know why. I got, for whatever reason, something changed. But for example, like this is just, I was doing this for example. So these are all like completely unique ads, and we made 15 of them within 30 minutes total. And like they're completely different, new things. Dude, actually on this point, something that I've done that's actually kind of like low key crushing right now. Just
low key though, not high key, guys.
Low key. We can't have
this
anyone.
This is low key, by the way.
Key.
Don't move that key up at all.
So I had one of the clients had these testimonials, and he was like, dude, I feel like we could use them. And taking this concept of like putting the headline and like how we help that person, and then having the video here, dude, it's doing really well.
See it. Let me see that. Is that an actual person or that's
Hi, my name is Jody. For me personally, I've had a 100-plus-year-old home for the last almost 15 years, and my house was not on the market, but I did get contacted, and they reached out to me and said, are you interested in selling your house? So then I decided to have them over. They came over with.
That's a real person, right?
Yeah, it's a real person. So what I can say, so we just started these like literally 2 days ago. The cost per click, normally it's about like $7 for a click. These are about $4 to $6. So it's like pretty substantially lower. But I don't know. It's another strategy. It's been that just testing that out. So I don't know how enough data it or not.
Go back to your ad that was like, I can't give my house away. Can you go back to that one? I want to talk about that one for a second.
Let's do it.
Oh, dude, I have something crazy to tell you, by the way, in a little bit about.
What do you want me to do? You want me to go to the ad script?
Play it. No, I just want to play it. I want to see something.
You are thinking about selling your house cash to an investor because it needs work, or you just want to be done with the place. I am sure you're tired of everyone just trying to steal your house. You probably are sitting there feeling a little lost on what to do because you know you can't keep the house, but you also can't give it away. And this leaves you in a predicament.
Yeah, like here's something that was interesting. I have a buddy who, a really good friend of mine, is very good at Google Ads. And he was looking at my Google Ads account, and he was saying like, it's really easy to get ahead in this industry and the wholesaling industry because everybody is basically doing the same thing. And I never consider myself like a marketing led company. Like I've brute forced my way with sales. You know what I mean? Like we'll do PPC, which I think are good ads, but like I've never been like the guy that is really focused on getting the highest quality leads. I just focus on conversions. And so the reason that I bring that up is he was looking at my ads and he's like, dude, you're doing the same thing as everybody else. You're like, we'll buy your house fast. We'll buy your house for cash. No closing costs, no commissions, no realtor fees, all the stuff that everybody's doing, right? And he's like, all you have to do is not be lazy and just throw in some really good offers, and you're going to get a lot more motivated sellers. And I could tell you quality has picked up a lot. So all I did was I just changed. I'll show you my website. I just put on my website this. And most people don't even want it, but sell your house for cash in 7 days, get up to $5,000 to move. And then it says best for inherited homes, foreclosures, divorce, or major repairs. Now I can tell you in the last couple of days, we have gotten a lot more people that actually want to sell their house right away. Because if you look up sell my house fast, everybody else just says like get your offer, get a free obligation, no obligation cash offer, right? And so what are you going to get? You're going to get no obligation cash offer. But if you get like, hey, sell your house fast in 7 days, get money up front, all of those things increase motivation. They attract the right person. So I was wondering with your ad, you did a really good job in that ad of toting the line between getting a lot of people, but also going after the right avatar. Meaning like this thing that I put on my website is only going to get people that are really motivated. So my costs are going to go up.
Totally.
Right. Your ad called out people that have a lot of motivation. Like you need to sell, you need to sell it. I think you said that 2 or 3 times. But you also said, but you don't want to give the house away. So then like anybody that has that skepticism that this is going to be a lowball offer, that goes away. So I thought that was really interesting. That's one of the things that I like about digital that you can't necessarily do with pay-per-click. I mean, like nobody's going to read all the ad copy in your little Google ad, you know what I mean? And you're not going to go through your entire website. But on a Facebook ad, you can call out the exact demographic that you want, which was cool.
So yes, I agree. It's like, to your point, another one that's like really worked well is like just the direct offer off the bat, kind of like how you said, I'll give you $5,000 to move, but it's like, I'll buy your house in the next 30 days for cash and cover your next month's mortgage. Like that.
Yeah.
That right there does really well also. Or something like along those lines. Or I'll let you even stay in the house after you move, after you sell.
Like a big call out.
Yeah, like I find that kind of thing definitely attracts like good people as well.
What do you notice with Facebook ads from going from like $10,000 a month in spend to 50, 60K a month in spend? How much does it impact quality if you're in like a major metro?
Yeah, I think that once you hit that like 10, 15, 20,000, depending on your audience size, you're going to start to like either attract like a bunch of trash people, or your cost is going to go through the roof if your form filters out everyone else. So, and the reason for that is I was actually talking to a guy who he's spending about like 25K or 25K a month, and he wants to get it up to 40 or 50, but he keeps trying and failing. And basically the thing that happens is you have different like angles and like funnels essentially that you can do. So like think about like in your business, right? This is a very easy way. You have a marketing, you have sales, you have follow-up, you have systems, processes, KPIs. Those are kind of like the main, and you have finance, right? There's like the main 4 or 5 pillars. And so people, like you guys know, it's very simple as business owners, like we have a problem of like leads. We have a problem of quality leads. We have a problem of salespeople showing up on time and doing what they said they're going to do. We have a problem with people following the process. There's all these like micro issues that happen within your business. And if like a really good marketer, they might start like, hey, if you want leads, but then like they'll pare that down to like, hey, if you're specifically doing this lead channel and struggling with X, Y, and Z, that's like an example that you would understand. And so it's the same thing with sellers. So you have this like, hey, I want to sell fast in 30 days. That's going to be a portion of the demographic that you can target. And that's going to capture you to a certain budget, but that'll cap out. So you have to like then say, okay, well, let me go after people who specifically inherited a property, or let me go after people who specifically live in the property, or specifically are landlords and those kind of things. And that's going to be the other way that you can do it. And if you're in multiple areas, what I found also that helps is like, instead of doing like all the areas together, is you have to, because the problem is you hit a diminishing return because you're like not able to go deeper. And so you can segment out by state, and then you can build like just the Georgia campaign or just the SoCal campaign or just this. And then you can speak more specifically just to those people. So it's like in SoCal, the actor demographic, the way they talk is a little different than Louisiana or than in the Midwest. And so like, for example, like the stuff I run in Georgia doesn't work in like the fucking Midwest. The stuff I run in the Midwest would never work in SoCal. The stuff I run and vice versa, yada, yada, yada. And so you kind of have to, so then you can like pick which route based on what your business looks like, kind of how you want to go. And I also like the idea of like the offer strategy. It's like, if you offer $5,000 advance, if you offer someone staying in the house, if you offer this, then that allows you to be able to spend more. and not like, because you're able to go deeper with a certain avatar, so you're able to take that spin farther.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
You want to hear something funny that I realized with my team? So I'm gonna train this differently with my next batch of new hires. It's different when you're working with business owners than when you're working with teams. So like, I have trained my team so much on sales that I have noticed that they will try to overcome objections that they don't even need to overcome. And here's what I mean by that. Like, somebody will be like, oh, we really need some money up front. My team will just be like, no. Like they've done that in the past. They've been like, no. I'm like, guys, what the heck?
Yeah.
Like they'll like, when I say no, they'll objection handle it. I'll be like, guys, just give them the money. Like, they want money up front. Let's give them the money up front.
Like,
now, obviously, we
give
wait
the money. Like, are you ready to move forward?
yeah. Like, obviously, the title has to be clear and all that stuff. But even like, dude, yesterday I was on the phone with a seller, and I was helping one of my reps lock up a deal, and the seller's just going through like a really hard time. And I just asked her, I was like, hey, do you need us to send you some food to the house? And she's like, honestly, that'd be great. I was like, what do you need? She's like, give me some cat food, some cat litter, and some water. I'm like, all right, done. Austin, I messaged him on G chats and sent it over within a couple minutes. I'm like, guys, you can do that. Like, you can, if they need some money up front, if they need a little bit of money to hold them over because they're not going to be able to pay their grocery bills, like, that means that you have the most motivated leads, but also help them, you know? And I've noticed this a lot with reps, not as much business owners, as business owners will use their own intuition to be like, oh yeah, if it's a great deal, let me just give them $15,000 up front. It's a great deal. Why not? Right. Reps don't really know what they can and can't do. And one of the things I've noticed, I've spent so much time training them on sales and objection handling and problem impact and future state and getting to the commitment and all these things that I'm like, if they tell you that what they want is a 7-day close and $5,000 up front, and they're willing to give you a sweet deal, don't try to objection handle them to make it a 14-day close because that's what works for us. Or that makes it easier for us. Like, just give them what they want. Just be like, hey, that's what they want. That's what's going to get the deal across the line. Just make it happen. I'd rather 7-day closes. I'd rather and if it and we've got cash, bro. We can give them money up front if they need it. And so it's I get it. I can't train this too much because people ask me all the time, like if I train people to handle objections where I just give the seller everything, I train my students that, well, some of them don't have a lot of money. Like, some of them can't just wire $10,000 after the title's clear and after the sellers sign their closing docs. They don't have it, right? Like some of the newer wholesalers. So I can't necessarily train that to students, but it is something that I'm training with my team now. It's like, guys, if they need money up front, that's a really great selling point to get them across the line. If they want a 7-day close, don't try to push them to a 14-day close just because it's easier. Get it at a price that a 7-day close works for us, and let's get them closed in 7 days. Let's get them what they need. And it's such a basic fundamental thing of just fundamental part of sales is to give people what they want. That I think sometimes it's overlooked. It's one of those like basic things that's overlooked. It's the same thing with ads, you know, like give people what they actually want.
Yeah, dude, I think it's like, you can't sell them what they need. You got to sell them what they want. And you get the same thing with getting leads. I think it's a really good point. I was actually having this conversation with a couple people over the last like week or two. And they're like, well, like, how do you if someone wants to close in 7 days, like, let's say like 2 weeks, like, how do I do that? I'm like, well, what would you have to be at to buy it and close on it in 2 weeks? Like, what price would you purchase it at? And then that's like the offer you make them. It's like, that's the person you want. It's like the person has to close in that time frame, and they have to have a reason. And it's like, I had another one. It's like, well, like, what if they live in the property and they're like trying to move somewhere else, and you gotta like line up to close? Like that's like just kind of complicated. It's like, that's not easy. I'm like, dude, that's like what you get paid for. It's figured out.
That's your job, bro. Like, I have noticed that a lot of wholesalers are getting really lazy. They're just like, it's hard to sell a property in 7 days. Yeah, but a lot of people do it. That's your job, is to build that process out so you can get the deal closed in 7 days. That's why we have
provide value. You know?
Yeah, and I think people want to make money without providing value too, which is a problem.
I agree.
They're like, oh well, like I get newbies all the time that ask me, well, what should I do if I don't have any reviews and I don't have any buyers and I have somebody else that's a higher offer? I'm like, bro, you have to outperform those other. You have to figure out how to be better than them. Like, yes, you have to sell better too, but also, like, they have a higher offer, they have legitimate buyers. You have to figure out, like, how can I make that deal actually work? You know, like, how can I make this? Can I go get a buyer that's going to be lined up right after close? Can I get it at a price that I know it's going to sell for and give them a little bit more certainty? There has to be something. That's also why I'm not a big fan of I don't believe that wholesalers should be dead broke. Like I don't like any of my students, I have a filtering thing on my form. It's like, if you're dead broke, bro, do not. It's not that we don't want you in our program. It's that we don't want you wholesaling. Because if you can't cover your own bills, this business is going to be really hard for you to start. Like
on the other side, it's like, if you don't have money to cover your own bills, like, how do you start a business at all?
Exactly. And I think my buddy, our buddy Adam, posted this the other day. He posted something about the sub 2 guys, and I like Pace. I like the sub 2 guys a lot.
Whole thing that went down with this dude that like called him out or whatever. Keep going.
Yeah, I did see that. But and I think he is the GOAT. Like that. Like, so that guy literally invented a term, maybe not invented, but branded the term sub 2 and created the biggest platform, the biggest cult-like following, like the GOAT of
marketing,
marketing and sales and selling info, like the absolute GOAT. Like so I look up to him in a lot of ways too. But the whole, like,
what he does, by the way, just
like the GOAT, like, absolutely,
that guy's fucking good.
Yeah, like he's the GOAT. He's extremely smart. He's extremely intelligent, and what he built is awesome. Like how he has a pipeline of creative finance deals coming to him, like all awesome, all for it. The only thing I have a slight issue with is the, like, hey, well, we just got a homeless person to do this, so you can too. Like, okay, yeah, I get it. I get it's like a great objection handler for anybody. It's like, oh, I can't do this because Pace got a homeless person to do this. The only thing is, like, my concern with that is if you don't have enough money to pay your bills and then you sign an agreement with somebody that says, I am going to buy your house and take over your payments, that all it all sounds great. However, what happens, because tenants don't always pay their rent, you know, and sometimes properties don't rent out right away, and you are going to have to cover some of those things. And so I do think that you should do sub 2 deals. I think it's a good strategy. I'm not saying it's a bad strategy, but I'm saying it's not I would not recommend you being homeless and not being able to cover your own rent and then trying to build long-term wealth through taking over other people's mortgages. Some guy in Florida just got in a lot of trouble because he just defaulted on all of these sub 2 deals that he had. I guess he couldn't get tenants in them, and he just defaulted on a bunch of people's mortgages. And I just think that's a dangerous game. And so I don't know. That's that. If you're dead broke, I talk about this all the time. Just go get a job, go get a sales job, get really good at sales, get really good at talking to people, save a couple $1,000s, and then that's enough to get into this business. You know what I mean?
Dude, I couldn't agree more. Like, if you have, like, I see these posts, like, I was scrolling through some, like, Facebook stuff and, like, some of these wholesale groups. It's like, I got $2,000 like to my name, $3,000 to my name. Like, how do I get, 10 deals or something like that? It's like, bro, like, you need an income, and then you got to do this shit on the side, brother. Like, even like every single one of my friends who I know that eventually, like, had a W-2 and then went into business, they either had money saved, like they had like tens of thousands of dollars saved up, or they were doing it on the side and they already had income coming in, and then they transitioned. And like, I mean, it's like I don't know, dude, it's not rocket science, but it is. I understand. I think the place I understand is if you come from truly, like, you ever heard the term the poverty trap?
No.
So
I mean, I've heard of it, but explain it.
Essentially, like, it was like some, we learned this shit in school, but it actually, I think it does apply. It's a really is a thing that's real. Is if you grow up in a place that's like super impoverished and like you never know anything more than that, and like you learn bad habits from your mentors, So it's like it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy unless you're able to somehow break out of it, which is hard because it's just not easy to change environments that much. But
yeah,
I think if you're like, that's like your life circumstance, like that makes sense. But if you're so that's like that is really difficult to get out of there. And I have a lot of like empathy for those types of people, I guess. But if you're just like a normal person who's like trying to start a business, just like save some money up and keep your job and like work a little bit more. Like what Hermosi says, like just fucking work harder.
Yeah, and I'm not saying you can't be successful with a limited amount of money. Like I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you're going to have a harder time.
Yeah.
So I guess this is the real issue I have an issue with people selling the fact that it's going to be easy when you're dead broke, and there are a lot of those people. There are a lot of those people that are like, hey, I did this and I had no money and I had no credit and I was, I lost my job and I just started cold calling and I got my first deal within 15 days and I made $30,000 and now I run a 7-figure business. Like, yeah, possible. 100%. It's possible. But is that going to happen every single time? And does that put you in the best position? I think I would rather sell someone something that's realistic or to have someone take a gamble on themselves with something that's realistic. And I think realistic is be able to afford data, be able to afford a dialer, right? Like be able to afford a cold call list and a dialer and be able to put in a couple of $100 EMD, and have some time to be able to dedicate to this, improve your skills. Those are all things that actually put you in a good position to win. Not that you can't text from your cell phone and call a bunch of people from your cell phone with a free list and close a deal. You can definitely do that. It's just not, it shouldn't be like sold as a blueprint of, hey, you're dead broke and you're homeless. And you definitely shouldn't be buying people's houses and saying that you're going to cover their mortgage if you can't cover your own. That's the end of my rant.
Yeah. I do think that I do definitely agree with the problem of whenever someone's sold a dream and that it's just like unlikely. They also aren't told like what it actually takes to make that dream happen. I think it's an interesting balance because, obviously in sales, we just talked about, it's like sell people what they want, right? If people have this dream and they want it to be easy, then it's like general sales laws is like, you just kind of
sell it to be easy. Yeah, but that's not the truth.
But it's not the truth, and that's the hard part. Because you pretty much know that, like, if you tell most people that it's not going to be easy and you're going to have to make a bunch of dials, and like, as we know in the interview process, when you tell someone on sales like that, most people crumble through that process. They're like, that's not for me,
Yeah. And selling things it's super simple and it's super easy and anyone can do it. That usually is a red flag to me. Like, oh, it's super simple. A monkey can do it. Anybody can do it. Look how easy it is. And that's the entire part of your process. Like, that's usually a red flag for me that this is not going to be something that's actually going to work. Because
okay, let's do this. This is a good role play. How would you spin it if you were selling that? Like, what would you do differently? How would you spin the fact that it's not going to be easy into a good sales pitch for someone if you were going to do it, like, and go down that situation? Like, what would be your angle if you were?
I would say, obviously, that nothing in life is actually easy that's worth doing. And so it's going to be difficult. It's probably going to be the hardest thing, and you're going to get told no. There's going to be things that you're going to have to learn every single day, and you're going to have to continue to improve, but it's going to be worth it. That's how I would sell it. You know what I mean? Like, because that's the truth, man. That's the truth with. I also don't think you should try to sell entrepreneurship as being easy as well, because it's not.
No.
Like we spoke about this a couple of weeks ago, how people will be like they'll be growing their business, and so they end up getting more leads, and they're like, oh well, now I have to call these people, and I don't have that much time to call them. It's like, okay, well now you got to call them, and then they start calling them. It's like, okay, well now I'm not good at sales. It's like, okay, now you got to get better at sales. Like, oh, now I have all these contracts and I have to dispo all of them. That's your entire business. It's entire, and then it's like, and then you dispo all these deals, and then it's like, okay, well now I need to go hire people for acquisitions, but I have to go through all these interviews. And then you hire people, and then now I have to do this. And so there's always that. It's always like there's always this next thing. But also, again, going back to our famous point of it's not that difficult, meaning you're not climbing up a mountain without a rope. You know, like these are all things that are within your ability to be able to do. You're not getting lashed every day. You know, you're not getting beat. You're in an AC, you're in an air conditioned room, and you're making phone calls and you're doing interviews from your office. Like that part, when I say not difficult, like, yeah, it's not going to be like, oh my gosh, this is the hardest thing ever. It's just probably harder than people have done in the past.
It's also like, I think it's a different hard. I think that the hard is like, you're just mentally fried at some points, you know, or like you deal with the stress and the anxiety of the unknown. And I think that like a lot of people crumble under that pressure. And I think that it's because sometimes it's heavy, you know, like it's not easy to, like, I mean, everyone goes through trials and tribulations of where they eat shit for an extended period of time. And when they think it can't get any worse, they get kicked in the nuts 10 times more, you know, like that happens. I feel like everyone at some point in their career, and most time, like multiple times. So I feel like
sometimes daily.
What's up?
Sometimes daily. I think the other part is, you know, what keeps people broke more than anything else?
What, John? What keeps people broke more than anything
wanting
else?
certainty. One certainty in anything.
Oh, that's a good one.
Certainty doesn't exist. Like, so, you know, if you look at my favorite story is Elon, when he had, I don't know, a couple tens of millions of dollars, which was not a lot for him at the time, right? And he had to pick between Tesla and SpaceX.
Yep.
Neither of those companies, like there weren't any electric car companies that were successful at the time. There weren't any spaceship companies that were successful at the time. It was complete uncertainty. And so broke people feel like they need certainty with everything. You know what I mean? Like really broke people, they're like, oh, well, I need a guarantee that all this is going to work. And before I even try this, I need to know that this is going to work for me. It doesn't exist. Certainty doesn't exist. Rich people just live in uncertainty, you know? And I actually got that from my coach that I'm being coached by right now. He made a video about how the richest people live in uncertainty pretty much all the time. And broke people need certainty in order to do anything. So now what we're doing, there are playbooks, you know, there's like very easy, like, okay, this is how many leads it takes to get an appointment, so many appointment it takes to make an offer, or so many offers it takes to get a contract to close, so forth and so on, what your ROAS should be. Like there are playbooks, there are things that you can follow. So it makes it more certain in our industry. We're not inventing anything, you know, but there's still the uncertainty is like, you know, you could suck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It take you a while to get good.
Yeah. Might take you a year. Might take you 2. Might take you 5. And
I think
that kills people.
Dude, that's another thing too, that I obviously talking to a lot of people who are like have failed at other marketing channels. Most people fail, and this is like what I've noticed, is like they fail because they just stop too soon. So example, I was talking to a guy last week, and he was like, he's like, I'm working with this company, and they're like, he's like, I've spent like 15 grand. And I was like, well, how much is on ads? Like 9 grand. So, okay, cool. He's like, what do you have? He's like, well, I've gotten 2 contracts. They both fell out. And I have like 2 more that I'm really close on that. If we get, they'll probably be really good. I was like, okay, so you're telling me you spent 9,000, you know, let's call it 15 even. It's 15,000. You gotten what you think will be 4 contracts. It seems to be getting better. And that's not a good result. Like, and you're going to cancel. Like what are you looking for? You know, I was like, you just need to keep doing it and figure out how to do it better, because you're like, it's obviously like in the in the works. You know?
I've seen worse than that, dude. I've seen people start a marketing channel and get like 5 leads and like, oh, these leads are terrible.
Bro. Yeah. I mean, dude,
you know what I mean? They get 5 leads. They're like, oh, these are like 3 of these were listed. It's like, okay, well, fix it. You know what I mean?
When we started TV ads in like 2021, it was 2021 or 2022. I don't remember. But when we started TV ads, we spent $60,000 before we got a fucking contract.
How much?
60,000. Because we started in the election, in the runoff.
That's
election.
Terrifying.
Dude, it was. It was because at the time we were only doing like 120, 130K a month. So it wasn't like we had a ton of extra margin. Anyways, to spend 20K a month to lose 20. But anyways, so we fucking we started in the runoff election for that year in Georgia. And it was also in fucking like October or November that we started. So it was the winter months. The worst time to ever do anything. And we started with the most expensive channel. And so it took us so our cost per lead was like 600 when it should have been like 200 because of the runoff elections. Yeah. So we got like no leads. It's obviously a hard time. We got like a couple of contracts, they fell out. And we're like, all right, well, let's just do it for another month. And then we got a contract and we were like, okay, it was like a small deal. And then we're like, all right, let's just do it one more time because it's getting better. And then it started working. And over the lifetime of that channel for like 2 years, we had like almost a 4X and spent a bunch of money on it. And
that's uncertainty, bro.
Dude, that's uncertainty.
That's the uncertainty we're talking about.
Shit in our pants. But it was like, we were like, dude, like, it's like it works. We just need to figure out how to make it work. And so we just tried really hard to make it work. And then eventually it did.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing with any business, everybody wants it to be easy and nobody wants to fix anything. You know what I mean? So like with TV ads, okay, there were probably things you have to tweak, right? Or like your Facebook ads,
you know?
Yeah, you have to make tweaks along the way. And people are like, oh, well,
more rural leads, you know, like it's part of the process, bro.
Yeah, but what a lot of people and dude, I'm guilty of this as well, is being like, I don't want to fix anything. I'd rather just have something that works right off the get. Yep. But it's not how life works. You know, like you're gonna try something. It's my favorite. Have you ever seen the podcast with Theo Vaughn and this like 11-year-old chubby kid? And he goes, yeah, like I tried a strategy and it didn't work. Theo Vaughn's like, yeah, you know, that happens in life sometimes where you have a strategy and it just doesn't work out. It's so true, man. Like we just have to make you have to make adjustments constantly. You have to constantly be working at things. And for some people that stresses them out. It's like, okay, cool, go get a job. You know what I mean? Like the job, they'll just tell you exactly what to do. But if you want to run a business, it's a matter of constantly solving problems.
Yeah.
You know,
well, and something that does work can all of a sudden stop working, and it's a mystery sometimes.
And you got to solve it.
And you're like, dude, what the fuck do I do? And it's like, well, you probably got to go through. Well, then it's like that's where also I do think having like formal business education. I mean, I know you spend a ton of money on education, and so have I. And I think without that, I'd definitely be way dumber. And I wouldn't have like the, you know, it's like I wouldn't have the tools or the skills to go and troubleshoot like even just tracking KPIs or learning like a business operating system. Like, I read the book Traction, but then we paid a company to implement it. Like once we had a team, it's like that went a long ways. Like I fucking got I was a master of like that after doing it and then operating it for multiple years. You like become like, but without those skills and the people who can like kind of guide you through it, like at some point, like you're kind of left blind. Like you have no idea.
That's actually one of my favorite feelings is the feeling of talking to a coach and feeling stupid. Yeah. So, you know, like I've paid I'm going to pay $100,000 this year in education. And I remember when Ren is coaching in my group right now. I remember when he would coach in your group, and I've been coached by him. I would bring him a problem, and you know, it's a problem that he's already solved 100 times. So for him, it's like such an easy, obvious answer. But for me, it was like, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I could bring him a problem and he'd be like, bro, just do this.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, yes, sir. And then you go do it. And then you're like, hey, you text him, hey, it worked. He's like, yeah, no shit, I know, you know? And like,
Lynn's also a great coach.
He's a really good coach. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was on a call with my other coach, Jeremy, and I was like, hey, I want you to look at this. I want you to look at that. And he's like, dude, pull up your metrics. What problem are we trying to solve? I was like, this problem. He's like, all right, how do we solve this problem? And then we just walk through it. And it's like so obvious. It's like, okay, go create more ad angles. It's like, that's what you need to do. That's it. And there is a lot of value to someone that's already done what you want to do, telling you exactly what to do, and just having you go implement it. Right. Like, I think that is priceless, and you get ahead. I think that's one of the reasons you guys grew so fast, right? Because you guys grew to like $300K a month in, I don't know, 2 years, but you spent a lot of money on education, right?
Yeah, a ton of money. Definitely. Like, I mean, we were probably the highest years, like maybe like 120K, something like that. But like the most years were like 60 to 80.
Yeah, there's a lot of
recurring expense,
Oh, I'll always be coached by somebody. I'm excited to be able to pay for the coaches that I can't pay for now. You know what I mean? Like that's one of the things that excites me is like being able to have, like, I want to be able to, there's this, I'm not going to name him right now, but there's a guy who has consistently just like $40 million, $50 million company back to back. And I want to get to the point where I can just have like a one-on-one coaching call with him once a month. And for him just to tell me, hey, stop being stupid, do this, and because they know what to do, and then it does give you a lot more certainty that, we're talking about uncertainty. It could still not work. Like, they could tell me to do something and for some reason I don't execute on it properly, but at least you're running in the right direction, Like, it sucks when you don't know if you're running in the right direction. You're running as hard as you can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like, well, that's like demoralizing. I think that's where people burn out. I think burnout comes from like lack of progress, honestly.
Yeah, I agree with that. So on this, I wanted to talk to you about this. Are you in the mindset that you need to take vacations to recharge, or do you just take vacations because you like to?
Oh, because I love it. Yeah.
Okay, but you don't. You feel like you actually recharge
before the trip. Like, dude, I can't fucking wait to get this trip going, and like, but I'm not like, man, I want to get away because I hate my day to day. No, I mean, no, I'm definitely not in that mindset. I'm like, for example, I'm going to Japan in 2 weeks to go ski for a couple weeks out there, and I'm just fucking stoked to go to Japan and ski, eat some sushi and some sashimi and.
But do you feel like that helps you in business, or do you think it hurts you? Like, do you think your business would be further along if you didn't take vacations like that?
Dude, if I worked more, of course, yeah, I'd say so. I think like 100%. If I was willing to work 7 days a week and not take vacations, like, I would for sure be further along, because my constraints execution, not like I know the route I need to go down. It's like I just got to do more of it.
So the reason I say
that's my opinion. But I think there's another thing to be said too. Is like, it makes me be a little bit smarter and like have more leverage sometimes. But I don't know. Also, go ahead with what you're gonna say.
One of my mentors when I was really young, like getting into the mortgage industry, used to say like, oh, you need to take vacations to be able to recharge, and it's going to make you sharper at work and you're going to make more money. And so I used to like force myself to take these quarterly vacations and like, or like time off away from work. And now I'm at a mindset that that's complete bullshit. Yeah. So I was watching, one of my buddies was on a podcast the other day, and I was watching a clip from it. And the guy was like, oh, well, you have a phone, right? He's like, yeah. He's like, well, do you feel bad when you plug your phone in to charge it at night? He's like, no. He's like, well, why do you feel bad for recharging yourself by taking time off for yourself? I'm like, no, bro, that's sleep. Like, you do need to sleep. I agree with that. You do need to sleep. You will not function well if you don't sleep. I will say, like, there are some priorities that you can have a diminishing return. So you don't sleep, you don't eat. You're gonna perform worse in your business.
You're gonna be dumbass. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, but as long as you're sleeping and you're eating enough calories to be able to get through your day, I don't believe that taking time off helps you in any way. I think that it if anything, it hurts you. It's a nice to do. I still do it. I take time off all the time. Like, I'm going to Mexico next month, but I'm not doing that to like recharge and get better business ideas or anything like that. That's the thing I don't believe in.
Dude, I think it's bullshit. Like, I need to recharge. I think that means you just don't like what you do. probably, if you need to get away from
Oh
it.
yeah.
I think that, or yeah, I think that's probably likely, or you're burned out because you're super stuck and you're not working on the right things potentially, which I do think space in that kind of scenario does help. Like if you're super stuck and you're not sure what to do, I think taking space, like not like a vacation, because I think you're distracted on vacation most of the time, but like taking a day to just like not meditate, but like go on a walk or
figure out the problem.
Yeah, like to think about the problem. But I think that I mean, for me, vacations are like I work hard and I like to enjoy the fruits of my labor, you know?
Yeah, I think a lot of people envy your like lifestyle of how you work a lot, but you also take a lot of time off to travel. We've had people comment on these lives. So like, man, I like Chandler's outlook on life, which is like work hard, play hard.
Yeah.
And I just think some people also get that twisted where some people hate it.
Yeah, some people hate that. Like Hermosi, probably exact opposite, would never want to do it.
Yeah. I think people get it twisted though. They think, oh, well, you're taking all this time off so that way you can improve your business, which is not the case. Like the,
Dude, no, I'm definitely
I was
not
wondering what your opinion on it.
I'm in Japan skiing deep powder up to my neck. That's the last thing I'm thinking about. I mean, I do
wondering
obviously
what your opinion was on that, because some people, there's a lot of people that will argue, they'll till they're blue in the face that you need to take vacations and you need to have a certain amount of time off.
Dude, I just ask them, like, what do they, like, why? Like, what do they learn? Like, how do they improve their business in those times? I mean, I think, so for me, I do think that there could be, like, a fact. I go and do a lot of things on the weekends where I'm, like, no phones, no distractions, just walking and basically only in my thoughts and, like, for hours on end. Like, I'm going to be going and do a ski race this weekend, so it's going to be, 8 to 10 hours where I'm just fucking walking up a mountain and skiing down, walking up a mountain, skiing down. And so I'm gonna have a lot of time to think, and I'll probably be thinking a lot about what I got going on. How can I do it? So I do think if you don't ever get the space and you're always so close to stuff and you never step back, I do think you could, I don't know. I do think you could, lose sight of looking ahead.
But it doesn't take you an entire vacation to do that. You know what I like for those are masterminds. Masterminds, you typically get really good ideas. It kind of puts you in a different mindset. And like, you got the plane ride there, you got the plane ride back, that you can typically just debrief all the things that you feel like are going to be the needle mover. And I'm not like one of those woo-woo guys. It's like, oh, there's energy. But I do think that you, especially when you're around people that are at a higher level than you start to think differently. Right? Maybe it's not anything about the energy. It's just like you think differently. And so, I remember, like, I just joined a mastermind this year, and I hop in the group chat, and the first text I see is somebody on a private jet, like, oh, who's in Miami? I'm heading there right now. And I was immediately like, okay, this is the group that I'm in now. This is the level up from where I'm at. So you just start thinking, okay, how do I get to that level faster? Because that's my new identity. So, those kind of things help, but that's not like it's not like going to the woods and taking a week off to go camping and being like, and coming back. And if anything, those things distract you, because then you have this new idea that you shouldn't have implemented in the first place.
I think another thing too with masterminds is like, you see that it's possible basically. And part of just knowing that it's possible makes you realize like, oh, fuck, I guess I am doing the right things. I just need to do it more, or like, like there was a guy at the event who he basically, like two or three people had the same thing when we were in Vegas all together. They were like, oh, I met people there who are doing the same shit I'm doing. They're just doing 2, 3, 4 times more of it than I am. I guess I just need to do so. Like, instead of doing this thing I thought I needed, I just need to stick to the script and become better at it. And I was like, that's usually the fucking answer. Just do more and do better.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about what we do is there are playbooks to be able to follow. Like, we're not reinventing anything. We're not creating a Google search engine for the first time. There are playbooks that we can follow, and we can see other people that are ahead of us and exactly what they're doing and emulate it to the best of our ability. So that is really cool. But The reason I was so curious about this is because I've been seeing a lot of that. Like you got to recharge your battery and you got to take this time off and stuff like that. Like you don't need to. It's fun to. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm not saying I'm against vacations. Like you should do it once you earn that ability to be able to do it, especially if you like it. But it's not like a tool to help you in your business.
How important is the business name, John?
I mean, when I say not important, the business name, like for a wholesaling company, it just needs to be clear what you actually do. Because I have seen a couple of names where I'm like, that could actually hurt you. And I've seen some that like trusted home buyers, like that's that'll be a good one. But if you have like some sort of like capital investments or something like that, I don't know. I don't think it matters.
I think
the name matters.
Doesn't matter as long as it doesn't hurt you. I do think like I was listening to actually this exact same thing with the My First Million podcast. You ever listen to My First Million?
Yeah, I love those guys.
Those guys are great. But they were talking about like in the startup world, how like they basically were like, I never really thought names were that important, and basically what they came to after they talked about a bunch of different names and stuff, they're like, a great name will help you. A good name will just basically help like keep you. It like doesn't really matter. Like most names,
it's like a maintenance thing.
If you get a great name, like I'm trying to think of like an example. It's been a while.
A bad name can hurt you though. I think I mean, like as long as you don't pick a bad name can hurt you.
It's gotta be like memorable, Like if I was like Uber or Lyft, like those are good names. Like a Lyft is a good name. Like what does it do? It takes you from place to place. Lyft. That's hard to forget, But if you're like American's first taxi service, you're like, that's not like, it's not going to help you.
I would even say that's a bad name though. I think like a bad name would have to be, I've only heard like one or two of them, and I've coached probably 1,000 people at this point with all of our low ticket school members too. I've heard a couple of them where I'm like, yeah, you should change that name. It's really bad.
Do you think it should be easy? I think it should be easy to spell and then easy to remember.
Oh yeah. But just don't have like a, I don't know, like a desperate home buyers. Something like that. Like something really bad could hurt you. But I mean, I'll say this,
LLC.
What could hurt you worse is taking a week to figure out a name when you could have been making dials.
Yeah.
Like that'll hurt you more than anything. Is it because you could always change your name, dude. I've changed my company name twice. One of them
DBA or no?
So I DBA'd for a while, and then we did a full company name change.
Yeah.
The reason that I did a company name change though is we had two reasons. One, this furniture company blew up that their company name was Homely. And that was our company name too. And then there was a Homely LLC, which we were Homely Holdings, and this Homely LLC must have been just screwing people because we had 2 bad reviews on our Better Business Bureau, and it wasn't our company. And the way the BBB works is they keep it on there even if it's not your company. Like they see it's resolved, but I'm like, all right, that's gonna hurt us. So then we just switched entire company name. So like that kind of thing, being in the same, having the same name as somebody else could obviously hurt you.
Yeah.
Our AI software is changing names right now.
What is your AI software?
Well, it was Roleplay AI, and I'm a partner with that. So like, it's technically somebody else's company. They're just building it out for me for real estate. But apparently, Roleplay AI has some other company that has that name, and it's like some sort of relationship coaching or something like that. I don't know, something like that. And so like we're having to change the name.
Yeah. Dude, I've thought about changing my name too for Level Up, just because there's another Level Up REI. I got I got a 1-star review from it too. It's like Level Up REI coaching. And I'm like, I didn't know it until like a year and a half.
Yeah, that kind of stuff can hurt you, but that you can also change that super easy. You know?
But it's like, I don't know if I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I even care that much.
Let's see how this interview goes. I'm about to interview another acquisitions manager. I just hired one.
Nice.
I just hired one last week.
I've interviewed in 30 minutes.
I have an interview in 4 minutes. So you'd be surprised how many people will not show up to an interview. It's incredibly, yeah. It's like 30% of people will just not show up.
Well, dude, I think it's because the way that the world has become, and dude, I'm curious about for example, like I've had definitely a show rate issue on like calls that are booked. Definitely like substantially more people, I feel like over the last like 3 to 4 months, less people show up by far. But anyways, I think like the way the world's kind of been is like if someone just feels like it's not like perfect, just the perfect thing for them, they're like, I don't really want to talk to anyone and tell them that I'm not coming, so I'm just not going to come.
Yeah. Just TikTok brains, bro.
Yeah.
TikTok brains have fried people.
Or they forget it. Like no one uses their calendar, it seems like, anymore.
That's crazy to me, man. I live out of my calendar. Everything.
If it's not on there, I don't do it.
It keeps me like complete, like everything is on my calendar. If I have a doctor's appointment, going to the gym is on my calendar. Everything is on my calendar. I also have to do that too, because a lot of people have access to my calendar. So if I don't put something on my calendar, people will book over it. Yep. It's like my assistant, my team, all these people have access. So like if I go on a date night, for example, I have to block that out on my calendar. Otherwise I'll have like one of my acquisitions managers be like, hey, John, close this seller for me at like 8 p.m. on a Thursday in the middle of my date night. And then I have to reschedule it. So
that's not a good way.
No, exactly. So
I mean, I do the same thing.
You put everything on there. Yeah. I think professionals though, like if someone's even a minute late, I just hop off I don't even stay in the meeting. Because realistically, if I'm showing up for an interview, I'm going to show up 3 to 4 minutes early, make sure my camera's working, make sure my mic's working, have everything ready. And so for someone to be like a minute late for an interview, even like I'm talking about the interview starts at 2, it's 2:01 and they're joining, I'm not even taking the interview. You know, I have a funny interview I can send you. I had a minute and a half interview the other day where I basically just hung up on the dude immediately.
Wait, wow.
It's like he tried to like flip the frame, and I could tell what he was doing when I was starting to ask him questions, and he wasn't answering them, and he was just asking me questions about the company. But which I have no problem. I answer a ton of questions about the company in my interviews, but it was questions that he should have known. Like it was like, what job is this? I was like, okay, I'll answer that in case he's confused. Like it's the acquisitions position. He's like, yeah, what are the roles here? And I'm like, dude, this was on the application. Like all of this was on.
Are you a dumbass or what?
It was on the job. Like, yeah, like would you, if a seller called you, would you be like, oh, what house is this? Like, and start asking a bunch of dumb questions. So anyway, I just was like, dude, this is not going to work. And I hung up on him.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause if you're really confused and you don't know, you'd ask it in a better way.
Yeah. Also, and like you should also prepare for an interview.
Yeah.
You know,
how many interviews in is you got to go to your interview. So we'll end this here. And otherwise I don't want you to be 1 minute late to your interview.
Nope. I'm going to go hop on right now, but you go enjoy your skiing trip and we'll see you guys next week.
Hasta luego. Nos vemos.
Bye everybody. Speaking Spanish.
Dude, that's what I do, bro. I'm fluent.
All right.
All right, bro.
Cool.
Peace.
Later, brother.
Peace.